First off, I'm glad to be back in here to see you. Can't always say that sometimes, but it's good to be back. And, I've said this is my first real media press conference we've had, but I just want to say this again. I want to thank everybody for, all their thoughts and prayers and through this whole situation. And if I haven't returned your phone call or text, don't take it personal. It's been not me, have, and there's reasons with it, but that's all good. And again, I just want to say this: what a great job our coaches did. Coach Cunningham did a terrific job keeping these guys together and keeping them playing hard, and they did that. And that staff, then most importantly, the players. That's not easy. And anything that's gone wrong, there's not but one person to blame for it, and that's me. They got put in a tough situation. Day before a game and whenever it was, having to adjust and then having to, do it, multiple games. That's not easy for players. They deserve a lot of credit, but when you have good people and good young men, that's what they do. They've responded great to this staff, and it don't always show maybe in wins, losses, but they've had some tough situations to overcome, different times, different people, being out here or there, and been in a lot of close ones. But again, that's the thing that hurts me more than anything, putting those guys in that position. So that's done, that's over. Something that you can't help and can't control. We move on with it, and we take them one at a time, and starts Thursday night again against San Antonio team. The record doesn't look great, but they go to North Texas and get beat 4 points. Again, I think everybody's realizing this league right now, everybody's good in this league. This league from top to bottom is the best it's ever been, not even close. They beat in Middle Tennessee, so we know they're a very capable team, and we have to be ready to play. But I like where our team's at. Forget some records. I still believe in this team. I believe, Saturday was another example, kind of what they've been doing. When you go on the road and you have opportunity against so-called one of the best teams, so-called in this league for sure, 120 straight, and we're right there. One possession, one play. So we'll take the positives from it. We'll build on that. We'll take them one game at a time.
Questions?
Jeff, you up?
I guess. Rick,
go ahead.
Glad to see you back. Did want to ask you, what's been ailing you?
Well, Jeff, I'm not going to bore you with all the details, okay? You get better things to do than hear all my situation. And I'm not going to go through it all. And it's just been some health issues that there's probably all kind of things out there that you've heard and said and done. I know it was kept really quiet, and that's okay, but it wasn't anything I planned. It wasn't anything that was long, that was, I didn't know at the time, which, not at the time, but I don't think it's anything that's long-term moving forward either. We're going to be fine through it all. It's just some things you had to get through, figure out a little bit, get through. So I know that's a very vague answer to your question, but you knew that answer you was going to get already, didn't you? You knew that. So, hey, I probably just said, the answer I'm going to give you, Jeff.
Now, are you limited in any way? Or?
Now I'm back, man. This past weekend, I was, pretty cautious. We had to travel and long traveling, and just working, feeling my way back in this thing a little bit. But I'm cautious still. I'm smart still with it. But no, I'm not going to be living. I'm full speed ahead. So hey, being smart about it though. Let's put it that way.
Coach, when you come back to a super talented FAU team, you said in the post game that you got some things you could build on. What were some of those positives that you saw that kind of helped you guys in the backstretch of the season?
What's your first name again?
Patrick.
Hey, Patrick. You know this. It's really hard to overcome a team making 13 threes and you making 2. That's 33 points on the road against a team that's won 20 in a row. So, but when you look up there at the score, there's got to be some other things we did really well to have a chance. And what we did really well was this. for the most part, we really played hard and defended. They shoot 38% for the game. We held our own on those backboards. Beat them at the free throw line, on the road. And that's always a good stat, and those stats that give you a chance. We have the ball, one possession, a minute 30 to go, down 3. When they're all hollering foul Jamar, and they foul him, and they come out there with a jump ball. Then they score out that timeout to go up 5. So to be in that position, when they made 13 threes, you make 2. Where you point to some things? Well, point to how hard we played. You point to some, Jamar gets 14 rebounds. The one man that we all believe's got to step up and play at another level, and he did that night, is E-Man. And probably hadn't seen that consistently along the way. And to his defense, getting that concussion, whenever it was, against UAB, missing 3 games, he was not himself these last few games, getting back. But we need him to play at that level too, as well as all those other guys, McKnight's, and without Luke now, we had a press conference since Luke went out. Probably went on the road, didn't we? It's first game on the road. Without Luke, everybody knows he's out for a season. That's no secret. So other people have to step up. Rawls has to play a different role. Dante Allen, a guy that can make shots, got to play a different role. And we got to continue to find, another piece or 2 on that bench can step up and do some things to add to this team. So there's a lot of positive things to come out of that thing. There's no moral victories. But I know this, when we play that kind of effort and that kind of togetherness, we have a shot against a lot of people most nights. It's a fine line. And you got to keep following that fine line down. You got to find out that fine line, what can you keep having? When you're losing some tight games, where can we find more to eliminate that fine line a little bit? One more play here, one more rebound, one more stop. If everybody's got one more play in them, that adds up to a lot of points in a hurry. 2 more plays with somebody could be 4 points, and that wins and loses a lot of games.
Coach, you got 3 home games coming up. It's a good chance to kind of, not necessarily the reset button, but to kind of get back on track, staying here in Diddle. How important is it to kind of have that homestand with the struggles that have happened in the last few years? Well,
it's always good to be back home. So, it don't assure you anything. You know that. Everybody's good nowadays. But it's good to be back home. And if you ask me whether I play on the road or play here, the answer to that. So we'll take them one at a time. I know we got San Antonio Thursday night. We got a UTEP team that's pushed a lot of people. It's a really, really good team, too, on Saturday afternoon. Then the following week, I guess it's Middle. So, but right now it's San Antonio. We know how capable they are.
Just kind of how important is it just to kind of keep that morale up? I mean, this team has been through a lot this season. Either we'll go into one game, one player's out, or a different player's out, or someone's sick, someone's hurt, and it just seems like every single game it's something. And so just moving forward and like where the team stands as of now, just how important is it for them to really come together as a unit instead of 5, 6, 7, 8 individuals?
Well, hey, that's a good point, a good question. And most of that was out of players' controls. Those guys who have been out. I know through all this, E-Man was out for concussion, basically misses 3 games. Rawls had some thumb problems out some games. Jamar out with a hip problem a game. Luke tears his ACL for a game, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody along the way. And it starts with myself being out for a long stretch of period of time. That's what I'm saying. What a great job those coaches did, Coach Cunningham and that staff, holding this team together, and these guys keep believing. I don't think it's ever been a morale problem. I don't think with everything that's happened, according to our coaching staff, they never felt one time these guys got frustrated or was caving in. Never felt that. These guys have kept battling through all these things. Now, if we can keep getting more consistencies with everybody being back as one, that should help us all as a team, and that's what we're trying to do right now.
Rick, I'm kind of wondering how this has affected you. unfortunate, to having to sit out that time, a health scare. Are you intended on finishing out this season? Are you looking toward next season?
Hey, listen, Jeff, first off, I'm good right now. It was hard setting out. I wasn't able to watch the games till the last two games. I guess it was at Louisiana Tech and at Charlotte at home, working through some things. But we got all the answers, all those questions answered about the concerns, and I'm moving forward full speed right now. I'm probably, at least I know what my health issues are, which is good. Most of you sitting there right now, you don't know what your health issues are. You don't know, for sure. Mine's been gone over with a fine-tooth comb, so I know where I'm at, and I feel at peace with a lot of things that I'm really good with. So no, I feel good. I feel good. Just being away, it was hard. I mean, it was hard not being able to, it was 4 weeks or so, whatever it was, 9 games, whatever, just being away, not being able to be, had to stay off your phone, just lots of things. So, but no, I'm good. I promise you, I'm better health-wise now than I ever was because I know where I'm at. Before, you don't know where you're at. You don't know what's going on with your heart right now, do you? For sure, do you? For sure, none of us do. But hey, I've been over fine-tooth and comb. I know where I'm at, so I'm good there now.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
You talked about it being hard to be away from the team. How excited were your guys when they finally got to the
Well, I don't know if they knew I was going to yell at them or what. I don't know. So hey, it was good to be back. And like I said, we have good young men, man. Take basketball away from them. We have good young men, and I know I was excited to be back around them and excited to be out here every day right now with them.
How much does it help to just have the staff back up to full strength?
Well, again, like I said, Coach Cunningham and that staff, they did a great job, man. Great job. And make sure everybody understands, you can't always determine wins and losses doing a great job. That's the way most fans will look at that sometimes. Forget that. These guys did an unbelievable job being put in that situation. Again, it sure wasn't anything I planned, but if anybody, I'm responsible for it all where it started. And again, it wasn't planned. I mean, it's one of those things unexpectedly that happens, and hey, but they picked up the pieces, and they've held it together and did a great job with it. And again, through all this, it'll make everybody better. Getting all the pieces with the players back more consistently. Knock on wood. Hope there's a situation here or there you lose a guy, but through all this, they've learned to be able to keep playing without people. I mean, there's been lots of games. I don't even know how many games there is. How many games have we had everybody full speed?
Counting you.
Forget me. No, I know I was out. Players. We have them all against.
Middle.
We have them all against. First game was Rice.
Yeah, but Dave went out in the last 5 minutes.
He lost him. How about the next game? Who was it? Middle.
Middle, everybody was there.
North Texas.
Rawls was out.
Rawls out, and San Antonio is out. Then you had some E-man out for some games. So it's just good to get everybody back and be on one page. Whoever asked that question, that was you, wasn't it? Both of y'all. Yes.
Coach, you just want to close out with the final update on Luke and his surgery?
Yeah, if you didn't know it, it's public knowledge, isn't it? Yeah, he had his surgery yesterday morning, and there was nothing new that was torn than they anticipated, and that's always good. He's rehabbing. Matter of fact, he's back in the training room now. He's already in rehab, and and he'll be missed. Not just making threes, and that's the part probably everybody sees. All the little things that he did. He was a very cerebral player. He saw next play happen before it happened. Always, he was a tough defender in there. And the league doesn't keep his stat. But I can say this, I'm sure led this league in charges, taking charges. And that's a willingness to sacrifice your body for the good of the team. Not a lot of young men do that. all those little pieces and parts was an ingredient. And again, we're going to miss him in a lot of ways. I want him to stay involved. Hopefully he can be on the bench with us Thursday night. We'll see how he feels after this rehab here today. Because I want his presence felt around his team, because he has a lot of respect among his teammates. Is that good?